G'day everyone, welcome back. Alright, well, things have changed. I don't understand why, but again, I've neglected to film an intro. So this is it. But in order to see how we did everything we did here, I'm going to start you off at the start. So yeah, I think at the end of the last episode, nothing was really painted. I think we had the tray roughed out, but that was about it. So anyway, there's a lot of work going on through this episode. So yeah, sit down, enjoy. Before you do, go ahead and subscribe and notifications, because there's going to be a couple more episodes coming on this thing. And I wouldn't want you to miss out. So, alright, well, without further ado, let's get to the actual video and start at the start. That's sort of in, that's everything. Top bar, spreader bar between the pillars are done. It's all stitched in. Side panels are all stitched, a little hard with the light. And I also went and put another bar under the window, as you can see there, just to add a little bit more strength between the pillars, but more so to get this bit of sheet straight. It had a few big wobbles in it, and I don't want that wobbling and carrying on and potentially making a leak in the back window, or even popping the seal in the back window. So yeah, I got my restraint points in, so they're just the nuts welded. Try that. Nuts welded in behind it, and yeah, just bolt welded to the wall. That'd be fine. So we're ready to actually finish this off and paint it. I'm gonna clean this inside wall up, give it a hit with like some zinc paint or something, and then I don't know, maybe just some underbody deadener, just a bit of a spray with, yeah, just with something like that, just to protect the steel and seal it all up. And then the outside, there is a little bit of damage, but it's not the end of the world. There's no filler or anything around here. This is just straight undercoat. So we'll come through and I'll clean all that up. We'll get the tray and the stacks out of the way and get ready to actually paint this back wall completely and the roof. So there's a bit of rust on the other side, which I think I've mentioned. We'll fix that first, and then we're going to come through and get the whole thing primed, re-primed, and yeah, get some colour on it. Well, unfortunately, the little rust hole that I thought was a little rust hole is a little bigger than I expected. So anyway, we got that one there, and then we come down, we got a couple of little spots here, and then a couple little down here, and one or two, sorry, little one there, a little one there. That one, those ones, probably those ones I could just weld up. That one, obviously I can't weld up, so we're gonna have to cut a patch panel. Luckily I've got the whole rest of the car outside that I cut off, so I've got the perfect shape bit. So we'll cut that out and replace it. I'll see how thin these are. It actually doesn't feel too bad, like as far as the metal's not completely gone. So I might just see if I can weld these up as well. Then I'll drop the roof liner down further. So before I weld the panel in, I'm going to spray in there with zinc paint, and then I'm going to drop the roof liner down and then come in, and I'm going to try and spray in the backside as well once it's painted. So yeah, anyway, it's sucky, but at least I got the stuff here to fix it. Alright, so just a real quick update on the rust repairs. That was where the big hole was, and then there was a few back here. I thought I'll just cut it out and put a plate in. That one there, I said I was going to just weld a few little holes up, and I've been down that road before and I know where it leads, and it just leads to the rust coming back. So I end up cutting the full strip out, digging all the rust out that was in behind it, rust converter, and then zinc primer on behind all of them obviously, and I'm just going to weld a new bit in. Same with that little one there. There's like two holes next to one another, and I could get the pick in and I could feel more rust in between the gutter and that. The trouble is, once water starts getting in to the channel that's behind this little roll, it just rusts out behind it, and then, you know, once it's there, it's there. And it just keeps coming through. So the only way to do it is to actually dig it out, cut back. So when I cut this one out, I found the extent of the rust behind it sort of went up and over and then in, and that's why I kept cutting this channel, because it just filled that channel up. So I cut all the way back so I could see fresh material on the inner skins, like non-rusted material on the inner skins, and then dug it all back out. So anything behind that I now know is not rusted, clean, rust converted, and chock-a-block full of zinc primer. So I'm very confident that once I'm done here, that won't come back. Front two corners I'm still just going to weld. This, I don't actually have a patch panel for this corner, and it would be a bugger to make one. So these ones I'm going to weld. So I've done rust converter, and you can sort of see down in there it's like a silvery colour. It's got zinc down in there. I just sort of sprayed heaps of it into it and then just sanded the corners back so I can weld it. But yeah, it's just the tedious part of coming through now, spot welding, keeping it cool, and then come through and grind it, keep it cool while you grind it, and pretty much get it all done. And then once these 3 or 5 if you want to panels are done, I can put a little bit of filler on them just to smooth them out, and then the whole roof gets sanded, and then we get primer onto it. So yeah, we're not painting yet, but we're getting close. Weld it up, ground back. I won't lie, I've probably done better rust patches in my life, but at least I know there's solid steel in there. So we'll give it a bit of a clean up, clean the whole area up, and I'll come through with the orbital sander and sort of make it a bit more uniform. Come through, give it a hit of primer, and then just a wipe of probably just lightweight body filler. It doesn't need high build, it doesn't need fiberglass filler or anything. It's nice and solid, so yeah, there won't be too much in it at all. It didn't warp, so yeah, it's not too bad. So we'll get that done, and then we can finally paint the whole bloody roof. Alright, well, spray painter and masker I am not. That's I'm gonna say we're all masked up, but you know, it's yeah, okay, don't judge. Anyway, we are all masked up, ready to go. I'm just about to start, or mixing up. I need to give the whole thing another wipe down. Then after that, we're going to mix up the edge prime. And I'm going to edge prime the back wall, or basically, I'll probably edge prime just the whole thing, because I'll see how much is in the gun, but yeah. And then let that flash off, and 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of high build primer, and we'll let that dry completely. Sand that, and then it'll be time for colour. Okie dokie, well, we're going to jump ahead just a little bit. We are primed, so 2 good coats of primer went on, and we're all sanded. So it's sanded up nice, it's relatively flat pretty much everywhere. Get that off. So yeah, I just went and wiped it all down. I'm going to mask up and get ready. I'll wipe it down again and then we'll see if the camera will focus on things. Come on now, there. Hey, there we go. Yeah, so mask up and mix up some colour and lay it. You guys nothing. She's thin.
Multiple coats.
Oh yeah.
Multiple coats.
Bigger.
It's a bit warm in the shed to do this.
Nice colour.
The blue.
That's actually spraying pretty good. I was worried. That's a bit heavy.
Well, the lad's gone home now. He's had enough for the day, but there's 3 coats of top coat on that. It laid really flat, laid really well. I don't know if the camera's picking up or not. Colour saturation's good. Like, it's really good. I think what he needs to do and what he will do, well, I guess they're 2 different things. No, I think just a quick rub back, whether he colour sands it or not, I don't know. Not even sure if it's going to be needed. And he's coming back tomorrow, which is Sunday. And there's a few coats of clear going on it. So once the clear's on, and that's hardened up, you might leave it go for the week, I suppose. Come back on the following weekend and then we'll give it a light rub back, get any orange peel off it, any imperfections off it, and
I know. 3 coats of colour. It actually sprayed really nice. I was really happy with the way it actually sprayed. I did. You might sort of pick up on it at the start there, laying down the first coat. I had some drips come off the gun, and turned out that the O-ring that's in the top of the lid was bloody not there. So it was all right when you were spraying, you know, horizontally, but as soon as you tipped the gun over, when it had a full pot, it'd slowly leak out and then drip, and it was... Anyway, so we're definitely colour sanding this morning, which is not the problem. It's just, you know, a little bit extra time, but it will be worth it. It helps flatten everything out, ready for clear. So, but I mean, I'm really happy with the way everything's come together. That side's really good, which is odd because I was sort of thought that side might not be the best. This side is actually, it's pretty good. I'm not upset about it, but there's a little blemish. Not a paint blemish, just, I don't know, I haven't quite flattened out the filler or whatever. There's one there, and then if you get it just in the right light, there was one about there. But I mean, you know, you've really got to get it in the right light, and you've got to know what you're looking for. Other than that, everything else is pretty good. Oh yeah, the only other thing I wish I had done, and it's nobody's fault but mine, is I wish I had probably spent a little bit more time getting the roof line right where I did my repairs. You can see it, it's wiggles there and wiggles there, but I mean, from the ground you won't see it. It's just, I don't know, I was sort of in a rush. I just had enough and wanted to get the thing in colour, so that's my fault. There's nothing, like, it's not going to hurt anything being like that. It just, that's alright. we move on. So yeah, colour sand it, so I'll block it with probably 600 wet, and then come through and we'll put some clear on it. Alright, well, she's still a bit hazy in here, but that's it. Pretty shiny. So it's probably, yeah, at least 3 coats over everything. If not, maybe a fraction more on the front of the roof, and probably the sills probably have a bit more, but yeah, I don't know if the camera's really going to do it, but it's pretty good. I mean, the door's down too, so kind of hard. We'll see if we can get up here without dying. So roof's not bad. It's a little patchy. It's kind of hard for someone of my height and arm reach to be able to do the entire roof in one sort of hit, keep the whole roof wet, but anyway, I did the best I could, and it is a roof after all. So really, once this thing gets put back up on its wheels, and have we got, I think there's one bugger, one run in the clear. Oh well, that's all right. We'll move on. Still a 4-wheel drive. Let's not forget it's still a 4-wheel drive. And I'm not particularly good at washing vehicles either, so you know it won't take long, and you won't see any of it. So again, the sides are a bit more noticeable. I am a little bit disappointed in myself. I didn't spend more time on that, but anyway, you can see a little bit of dry, a little bit of orange peel just on that side. But yeah, I sort of sprayed, come across and I sprayed the front first, and then did as much of that side as I could, and then moved to this side and did as much of this side as I could. I tried to keep the whole front wet at once, and then moved to the back and blended it to the back, but that was sort of the first area that dried, so any misting overspray has just basically got that. So anyway, we're about to pull the tape off and see what she looks like under the tape. It should be, yeah, it's dry enough now, so yeah, pull it all off and have a look. We can jack it back up and put the wheels on and maybe even roll it outside. Roll the doors up, now we can see it with actual daylight, and I'm not unhappy with the spray job. The paint itself actually laid on pretty good. Let me show you what I am unhappy with. The entire back wall. It looks woeful. The paint itself is not bad. It actually laid on good, but just, I don't know. I guess it's just something you can't see with undercoat. I mean, the roller door is down. You can put whatever sort of, you know, insert excuses here you want. I think a flat sheet metal and the amount of bracing and ribbing that I've welded into it just caused the whole thing to warp. There's nothing I can do about it now. All the effort that I've put into it, I'm quite disappointed with the back wall. I mean, the saving grace is there's 2 dirty big stacks going there, so that'll hide both sides, and eventually there's a canopy that's going to go on it, so you know, you won't see any of it at the end of the day, but I know it's there, and I guess you know it's there too. But either way, I am happy with the sides. They come up good, so a little hard with the shading, but yeah, they're nice and shiny. They'll come up really nice with a polish, or a cut and a buff, I guess. Yeah, no runs or anything. There's no real runs I can see except for that sort of little one right at the front, which I'm not too worried about. Colour match is as good as you can get, having, you know, brand new paint and then 30-year-old paint. It is the same colour, it's just this one's obviously faded over time and it's not brand new. This would come up pretty nice with a polish, so I will probably wash and polish the whole car, and it'll come up alright. But anyway, it just, yeah, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it now. It'll just mean I'll want to build a canopy sooner so I can hide it. Alright, well, we've moved on from the back of the ute. I'm still letting that paint cure up before I bother putting the window in. So we're on the tray. Went through, fully welded it. I missed a little bit there, I've got to fix that. But it's fully welded out and pretty much ground back where it's got to be. So now I've set up the most dangerous drop saw you could find, and I'm going to get all my planks cut. So I'll cut them all. I'm going to cut them all. So internal here is 1290. So I'll cut them all 1290. I need 20 boards. I need 19 and a half, but anyway, I'll cut 20 boards, and then I think I'm going to start from the center and work my way out, because it'll end up with, I'll have 3/4 of a plank on either side, or I'll end up with half a plank in the middle, which, yeah, either way. I think a full plank in the middle and 3/4 on either side will look a bit better. So that's what we're doing. So we're just going to set up and get them all cut. Well, now you've watched the video, I'm standing in pretty much exactly the same position. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, again, subscribe if you haven't. But I want to say a massive thank you for watching this far if you did, and certainly a big thank you if you did like and subscribe. It's yeah, pretty cool. It's good to see the channel getting a little bit of traction again, and I hope people are actually enjoying what I'm doing. So yeah, I would like to have got a little bit further on this. I would like to have got the tray completely finished, but you know, time's caught up with me again. So yeah, this is where we are. These Merbau decking boards are going to get acid washed, and then they're going to get decking oil put on them, so they should come up nice and pretty, and they'll be secured with stainless screws. Because, you know, not secured. They'll be secured with stainless screws around the perimeter. So it should look pretty good. Obviously the stacks aren't on there at the moment, but like you saw, all the painting's done. I'm just waiting enough time for it to cure. I'm going to paint the stacks and then they'll go on, but the back window has to go in first. So that's where we are. Once the paint hardens, back window will go in, and then basically the stacks can go on. Finish this off and we're done. Something I didn't sort of show too much is we've got the guards on. Now these are just, they're pretty big and chunky, especially for a little wheel like this. They look a little bit silly, but once a bigger tyre goes on and once the GU diffs go on, it'll fill it out a lot more because they're 40mm wider. And also there'll be much bigger rubber on it. So, but these are a steel pre-rolled trailer guard. So I brought one for like a tandem axle trailer, cut it down the middle, and you end up with a guard either side. So, and there'll have to be a mud flat hanging down off it. And then I'll probably at some point make some sort of up toolbox thing under it as well. So yeah, but it is, I should have screwed it on I suppose, but I didn't. The guard that comes up here, the cover for this, has, if the cameraman has stopped tripping over.
Oh, give my shit.
The guard that comes up here has the rubber edging on it like the front one does, and it sits flush with this edge. So it looks like it's hanging out a bit at the moment, but it will all it'll all make sense as it goes. Yeah, and the wheel, you know, the wheel's sitting, what, sort of in there, but like I said, 40mm with the diff, and then a 12.5 inch wide tyre. She should fill out pretty nice. So yeah. Alright, like I said, that's where I'm leaving it. That's enough yammering, and time to get a beer.
Oh yeah.
Alright, time to get a beer, and yeah, I'm going to get some more work done on this, and I'll film it, and we'll stay safe, and we'll catch us all on the next one.